Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Tarab Ghaffar and I'm a physical therapist and practicing in Multan Medical Complex. Well, I'm here to teach you electrotherapy and our today's topic is ultrasound. Basically, whenever we're talking about the ultrasound, we should know the difference between the diagnostic ultrasound and the therapeutic ultrasound. The diagnostic ultrasound, it is basically used to diagnose the fetus during the pregnancy or diagnose the other diseases. But if we talk about the therapeutic ultrasound, it is a little bit different from the diagnostic ultrasound. Therapeutic ultrasound is basically a heating modality which is traditionally being used for the heating and for the repair of the soft tissues, and it is basically used for the repair of the soft tissues and a condition like this. Well, now moving forward, first of all we should talk about the frequency of the ultrasound. The ultrasonic waves which are being produced by the ultrasound, it is above the audible frequency, which is the 20 to 20,000 hertz. Its frequency, its waves, the sound and produced by the ultrasonic, it is above the audible frequency, and the frequency being used by the ultrasonic is like 0 to 5 megahertz. But there are some set frequencies in the ultrasound. Well, first one is the 3 megahertz. The 3 megahertz frequency, basically there is an inverse relationship between their frequency and their absorption in the tissues. If we talk, and there are the two types of the frequency, two values for frequencies which are being used in the ultrasound. First one is the 1 megahertz and the second one is the 3 megahertz. Now, if we talk about the 1 megahertz, its transmission is from the superficial tissues, but it gets absorbed in the deeper tissues because there is an inverse relationship between the frequency and the wavelength. Now, the next thing is the 3 megahertz. Its absorption is basically in the superficial tissues because of the inverse relationship between the frequency and the wavelength. Okay, now the next important thing when we talk about the ultrasound is that it is a deep and the superficial heating modality as well. Okay, now moving towards the coupling media. Coupling media is basically the transmission media which is compulsory for the usage of the ultrasound. Whenever you're using the ultrasound, the coupling media, the transmission media is very important thing. You should use that before applying the ultrasound. And whenever you're using the ultrasound, make sure the proper contact of the probe to your skin. Whenever you have started the ultrasound, you should make a proper contact of the probe and your skin. Well, after applying the coupling media, wherever you're applying the ultrasound, you should make sure that you have applied the coupling media. It can be the gel, it can be anything. It can be petroleum jelly or gel Doppler ultrasound.